Taken quickly. Room here to deliver the cross to Melia. Deep it goes. Mondi with the header away. And it is another Congolese corner in front of their supporters who are bouncing up and down behind the goal as Ben Sabaini down again. That's a good bend, good delivery, wasn't it?
Very, very good delivery, but he was there. He doesn't want to take no chance. He got the ball off danger. But, the Congolese, saw Algeria. They went for a slip on a split 100 of a second, and they had a short corner, and you can see there were 3 Congolese players on 1 player, and they brought in that cross the way they should.
Sabaini is down once again. Well, the Algerian response from the supporters is impressive, which means that we have a terrific atmosphere inside this Moulay Al Hassan Stadium, hosting its last game today at the tournament. It's an intimate arena. Africa building more and more stadiums without running tracks on the continent, and it's so welcome, Daniel. They kind of kill it.
The atmosphere is very, very compact. Our slogan says we play different. We don't play different only on the field. We play different in the stands when it comes to fans, and you can see the beautiful colors of from the fans that the African, and this is a president of Congo, isn't it? And it's incredible that he stands from the first whistle till the last whistle.
It is incredible.
And we had a talk earlier and say, let's see if it goes 120 minutes, if he will be able to stand for that 120 minutes on penalties, if it goes to that.
A lot of mental strength, I would have thought, to hold that position for so long.
Definitely. That's how passionate a fan can be. That's what football brings, in this our continent.
It certainly does. And the Congolese. Did you ever play in Kinshasa in their Stade des Martyrs, 100,000 capacity?
No, I never did, but I watched a couple of games there, and I've seen how passionate, they are out there. Football is religion in Africa.
Yes, certainly is. I've never been there. I would love to observe it.
We went for
an atmosphere it must be.
We went for alleged games that the stadium was jam-packed.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
I can.
A stadium of 60,000+.
100,000 to get in there.
And it was jam-packed. They love their football out there.
They certainly do. They produce some top quality teams as well, at club level as well. TP Mazembe, champions of Africa many times over the years. Congolese also winning the African Nations Championship over the years. That's the tournament in Africa for players based in their own domestic leagues. They have produced some top talents. And they do have the record scorer at any Nations Cup in Malumba Undai, who scored 9 in a single edition in 1974. Corner comes in. Little bit of space in the back for Mbemba. Striker goal. Brilliant block. Udawi. Who else? There's 2 irresistible forces. Mbemba and Udawi came together.
That's a player that you wouldn't want that ball to fall on his feet. If it fell on a player like Kabumba or Sandigi, he'll have definitely done a different. There've been a different story right now. But you can see the pressure now coming, from the Congolese. They keep mounting it.
And Mbemba tends to deliver when it matters. And he can score some fearsome goals. Ainori with a header away. Amoro with the touch. Amoro with the touch, and then driving forward. He needs players to support him. Mazza in the middle. Shaibi coming up as well. And he plays it into Faris Shaibi. Shaibi into the middle. And headed away. Elliot slows this down and looks for support. He's only got Bakambu ahead of him. That was wayward. Adeli picks up Bakambu, thought he had won the ball. And the Egyptian referee disagreed, and that's a free kick. It goes Algeria's way. Not for the first time.
That's a foul.
Over eager.
That's a foul. That the football has opened up now. The game has opened up. It's an end-to-end football that we're seeing from both teams.
So Bangui into Murray.
See the Algerian now trying to kill the pace of the game, because the Congolese, they've seen that the Congolese are pulling out threats.
To the skill around the corner.
That was a chance. I can say if it was an attacking play, he will have dunked, the defender and have a swing with the left foot. You can see it.
We've got to praise the defending, surely.
No, definitely. He's my man. I mentioned him in the beginning of the game, but when I saw him play the way he was playing in the game in the group stages, he just my mind just clicked. I was 17 years old when I played in the 90 Cup of Nations, and I saw below me, and I fell in love with Belloni. And from there on, the number 14 comes to play.
Okay, Lapdar Balloumi, who was before this tournament kicked off the joint top scorer in Algeria Nations Cup history, but he has since been surpassed by Mahrez, with whom he was level. Mahrez now 9 goals, all 3 that have taken him clear of Balloumi, one of the greats of the Algerian game. And this tournament just goes off.
Sebastian is getting ready to do a substitution for Congo.
So it is Daniel Mbuku who is coming on. Elia, the man who goes off. So it's a wide man for a wide man. Mbuku.
I will say it's too early. Give him 70, 75 minutes, because you never know. The game might go extra time, and he's doing very well. It's not like he's not performing.
But they've made the change, and into Sabra, I'm sure the Congolese trust. Yeah, he's played in all 3 so far. Mbuku, the 23-year-old, based in France in the second tier with Montpellier. On loan from Augsburg in the Bundesliga. And he scored against Botswana last time out as well. Nuri just trying to get the better of Wan-Bissaka. It's an Algerian throw. Gone past the hour mark, and still it is a game of remarkably few chances. A very tactical and cagey affair continues.
That's what the round of 16 brings into play, and the only easier game that we saw that Nigeria dominated yesterday, that doesn't look like it's a game of the round of 16.
Yes, Nigeria seeing off Mozambique by 4 goals to 0. Victor Osimhen with a double. And Olu Lukman also scoring, both those players on 3 goals in the scoring charts. Off the top. Nigeria looking very, very strong. How are you rating their chances? Very briefly, Daniel.
Before we came, we had a good belief with the quality of players we have, but they've risen our level of belief more with the kind of football that we're playing. So credit goes, to Chile, the coach, because he have made some changes, and it's definitely working well for Nigeria.
Shalva Mali in the charge of the side. He led Mali at the last tournament. Unfortunate to see his side go out against the host. They were goal to the good against Ivory Coast. The 90th minute when they were picked back, and then they lost it in the 120th minute. Here's Bongonda. Goes down under pressure from Ben Sabaini, who waves him away in front of the delighted Algerian supporters. Bongonda went down. Yell came out from Ben Sabaini, and then he sort of ushered Bongonda on his way.
It's a good call by the assistant. He was right there. He was trying to play past some problems, trying to get something out of it.
Good endeavour though from Bongonda. He looks one of the Congolese who could well make things happen. Budawi, just too much on it for Budawi, who just loves to get forward on that right flank. And now Abdelli leads the charge, and it's 4-on-3 just for a moment into Amura. Twanzebe, good strength, just muscling, shouldering Amura, who then puts one back in on the Congolese central defender. Both letting each other know that they're around. It's a Baini, it's a Nuri. A better pass, and Amura could have been in.
Yeah. And the spark that the fans, the Algerians, fans would love to see.
It is full of running. Mohamed Amura, terrific energy. But I wonder how long before they change things up at the forward end of the pitch. Pinkovic, he's actually looking at some of his substitutes warming up right in front of us. Shaibi in. And Passy, well read. And smothers the danger. He was regular in the last AFCON and then dropped in between, but he's number 1 again now. Back into the side in October. He's got 5 clean sheets in 7 appearances prior to today. Abdelli. Sabaini looking for options and into Mazza in that pocket of space that he loves to pick up, and then they just took it too early. Mazza, he didn't need to. He had more time than he thought.
Yeah, you know, when you see situations like that, is what has been practiced on the training ground. Because when I get the ball there, you should be in there. You should be in that pocket to get the ball behind the defenders. Well, unfortunately, make that run for him, but the ball was already passed.
Well, the atmosphere building, as said, expectation rising. Nigeria lie in wait on Saturday in Marrakesh. Another game in this half of the draw is Cameroon against Morocco. Beating the host nation home in their vast 70,000 arena. And their supporters. It's going to be some feat if anybody can do it. Given all Morocco's matches around that stadium. Should the Atlas Lions, Africa's top-ranked side, World Cup semi-finalists in 2022, and the pre-tournament favourites. I think something special, but they've not looked as strong as we had expected in this tournament, Morocco, for me.
No, they don't. You know, they've been edging, with teams and all that, but you will see that when they play with a dominant team, the likes of Senegal, the like of Nigeria, the like of even Algeria or Congo, there will be lapses in that team.
So Zidane coming out to gather some instructions, and Mahrez, just as he did early on in the first half with a free kick from this position, he failed to get the height on it with a couple of them, just hitting the first man. Shaimi then took over and put in a good bending delivery with his right foot. Mazza in the middle, Bensa Baini with the height in there as well. Mendy at the near post for the Algerians. The referee just making sure everything is to his satisfaction. Mahrez with the delivery straight at goal over the bar. And well, he was dreaming of the headlines and of glory, and I'm not sure that was the best decision from the Algerian skipper.
That wasn't the best. Trying to be sneaky, but he can swing at them. That's the way he scored against us. When they won it in 2019.
Yes, in the dying minutes.
Yeah, so he has it, and he just need to hit the target and get the press precisely the way he wants it.
The semi-final, wasn't it? Deep into stoppage time when Mahrez killed it home, but that was a more obvious opportunity to take the strike. Wan-Bissaka stopped by Ait Nouri, one Premier League player against another. Make some changes. He's going to be bringing on Edo Kayembe, the central midfielder. And he's going to be bringing on Niel Kakuta as well. So, here's Lukau, who's coming off. Oh, Kakuta. And then Siddiqui, well, surprisingly, removed. You would have thought he could run all day. So, Kayembe, based in the English Championship with Watford, is on, and Kakuta, 34 years of age, wasn't meant to be in the squad. And scored 2 goals last time out against Botswana and got an assist in that game as well. The first Congolese to score an assist in the same Nations Cup game in nearly 10 years. Well, here comes Hans Musa, who lit up the game last time around for Algeria. He's on the right-hand flank. There's a change at the back as well. Zinedine Belaid, who opened the scoring. He's coming off with Ryan Nouri, and it's Riyad Mahrez who is coming off. Well, given that he plays on the right wing, and so does.
That's a surprise, isn't it?
And he's Haj Musa. I would explain the swap. Well, let's see what happens, Daniel.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Call from Petkovic.
Yeah.
If they were to lose, but given the way that the 23-year-old Feyenoord winger played last time around, he was man of the match. He got 2 assists, and he was a real.
Star players are star players. Sometimes we leave them on the pitch. We saw what happened yesterday against Egypt. Salah was there. He wasn't that perfect, but when he needed to, he was right there, and Egypt are in the next round.
Well, Petkovic perhaps feeling that he needs a little bit more energy, a bit more dynamism. And Haj Musa will play very forward on that right-hand side. 12 cap tonight, and he only got his first assists against Equatorial Guinea as Maza goes down. Ayembe, that's a lovely ball forward to Wan-Bissaka, who's striding forward, and the players belatedly coming into the area to join him. He's won the corner. Well, good driving run from the Congolese right back.
The switch of play first was a beautiful switch of play, and then Wan-Bissaka did what he did to do. He indicated, and he got a corner kick out of it.
Are paid for to do. Mbuku is just on the field a few moments. Is going to be taking this. Montpellier man, he takes it short into Bongonda, working the angles here. The Congolese dinked into the far post. Then Sabayini with the header goes down on the floor. With the free kick, and the pressure eases on the Algerian back line. He stands up when he has to be counted. Remy Ben-Sabayini.
Marceau, the Egyptian referee, has been outstanding, so far. Good calls. There are calls that definitely some referees will have brought the yellow cards out. But, he just takes on caution in the players. Him and his assistants have definitely put a good show so far.
A yellow card in the game. Just under 20 minutes to go, and whatever gets added on it. We said at the start it could well be a long night, and it's still got that feeling. Very, very little to separate these sides. Precious few chances so far. Amora trying to change that as Maza just for a moment thought he might be in behind Twanzebe, and then Shaibi forward into Amora. Is this the opportunity for Algeria? Into the middle it goes, picking out Haj Musa, who's just come on. Oh, that's well played by Mutu Sami to break it up, and then Kakuta. He just opens up a bit. Bongonda forward into Wan-Bissaka. Driving run from him. Maza tries to challenge him. Bongonda going on. Kakuta in the middle. Bakambu as well, looking for Bakambu. And Mondi up into the sky. Kayembe now for the Congolese. Edo Kayembe from distance. Luka Zidane with the save, but better from the Congolese, and for once testing properly for the second time in the game, the Algerian goalkeeper.
It's a good hands on the ball, and a good build, good break, from Congo. Wan-Bissaka taking the ball, and it's just good to see how, a flip of, a formation and tactic change games from first 45 minutes that we saw with what we're witnessing now.
Definitely feels a lot more open. That much more open, but a pace and a desires. Both these sides look for the goal that could well be enough to win it. There's an Algerian player down on the floor, but the Congolese are just playing on. Here's Belaid, based in Algeria. Just one of the few who is. He plays with JS Kabylie. Belaid, a fan favourite.
Always
African champions, JS Kabylie, and record 14-time league winners, and here he is, and a late call-up effectively in the last few months. A very popular player for them. Sorry, Daniel.
No, sorry. It's just how they coordinated. The Algeria, knows when to, kill the temple of the game when they see the insurgency of Congolese.
Maza, as Algeria break, Amura. Haj Musa far, he played it round the corner for Maza, who just didn't read the pass. It was a nice idea, let's be fair to Amura, but Maza just wasn't on the same wavelength.
Yeah, he asked for it. He saw the notch, and then he let the ball go, but he hesitated and he didn't follow up.
Shaibi, Amura, Maza, Haj Musa, a dynamic front four. And perhaps Petkovic felt there was enough legs gone in the game that gets a bit more open to find the pockets. Kayembe forward. Sami goes down under challenge from Udawi.
The Congo substitution in Calcutta that for me, I think, putting the 30-plus-year-old man in there, the pace reduces the pace going forward for Congo.
Hold on for his experience, no doubt. Former France youth international, like many on the pitch are. Seems a long while ago he started his career at Chelsea. Gael Kakuta, second tier of Turkish football. He came into the squad because of an injury to the midfielder Mario Stroikens. Didn't play at all for the Congolese last year. Haj Musa. Checked and forced to go behind. Just under 15 minutes to go before extra time.
The Algerians are doing what they needed. You just keep the ball, keep passing the ball, invite the Congolese to come, forward, and then get that space behind.
No one wants to make a mistake. Bensabaini into Boudaoui. Abdelli. Shaibi. Possession, the name of the game for Algeria at present. Boudaoui just skips away from Bakambu. A little bit of space down the right-hand side if he can find it, and he does, into Haj Musa, who will just get on his bike and start charging forward. Here we go, jinking. What's the strike like from Haj Musa? Straight at Lionel Mpassi, but that's what he brings to the game, Haj Musa, and that's what perhaps Petkovic was wanting to see instead of Mahrez, who wasn't doing such dynamic moves.
Yes, a good movement from him, dangled the ball and then, struck and hit the target. But it's good to see, that surging run, from the side.
He twists defender's glove, does Algerian substitute. That's nice from Mbemba. Well, look at this. The centre-back going forward. He's a winger. Bongonda. Kakuta just plays it back into Wan-Bissaka. Bongonda just shoved off the ball by Bensabaini, who comes forward again a bit like Mbemba did just moments ago. Amoura up against Mbemba. And it drops the shoulder and goes forward. He needs support. There's none around him. Amoura goal! Straight at Mpassi. Well, he had done the hard part, and as he surged forward, he looked to his right-hand side to see if there was anyone else in white, and he was all alone. Hence, he had to shoot.
He was all alone, Piers. There was no white shirt to help him because the break started very, very well. You know that the ball was, anticipated, and collected in their own half. So before the Algerian players can surge forward, he was all alone.
And Mbemba must be relieved, and he took on the veteran central defender and backed himself to beat him with pace, and he fairly flew past him. And Zebe into Kakuta Abdelli. That's a good little win from the Algerian. Haj Musa to Belhali. He's just checked his hands forward for the moment. 23-year-old. Mondi looking out to Belhali. Boudaoui. Haj Musa making possession. Progression down the right-hand flank. Boudaoui goes down. And all the Algerian supporters baying for a free kick that hasn't yet come their way. And that's nicely played from the Congolese. Kayembe. And Buku driving forward. Belhali wins it back off him. And unfairly so. Took his time. Both coaches with their hands up in the air in front of us. Disputing the decisions, and now they're having a little chat with one another as well.
He got to the ball, but he went through the man before getting to the ball, and I think that's what the referee did see.
Well, what about the challenge down here at the other end of the pitch, Daniel?
No, I need to see that take again.
There wasn't a lot of ball got by the player in blue, let's say. Well, it's coming in fits and bursts, this game, isn't it? Sometimes very slow, and then bang, they go.
Put it in mind that both managers are, feeling it in their head that maybe it can stretch to 120 minutes.
I think time has seemed inevitable for a little while. And by you saying that, it might well change things. And Buku, nice little drop at the shoulder to get away from Maza. Space down the left-hand side, but couldn't find it because Haj Musa breaks it up. Shaibi to his left. Maza free on the right-hand side. And the front four of Algeria going forward. Shaibi, well, that's well played by Wan-Bissaka.
Well played indeed, yes. You can see the surging run back that he did to get to cover up the space and then try and got his foot to the ball before getting the foul.
He just needed to check the run, and he did, but the Egyptian official unhappy in the end with it, and Mbemba unhappy with the decision by Mohamed Mansour. Noise levels rise amongst the North African supporters of Algeria.
See, the whole Congolese players are all lined up in front of the ball for this set piece.
So Shaibi possibly bend this in with his right foot ahead of the left of Haj Musa. And they get the height over this solid Congolese backline. And he's got some depths on it, and it is met by a player in white. Mazza it was, who got on the end of it. And he couldn't guide it between the white posts, and it stays 0-0 with just over 8 minutes to go.
You see that it's a training ground set piece. They got it right on perfection, but unfortunately, what really matters is hitting the target, and they never did.
Good delivery in from Shaibi, though, for once, because we've not always seen that from the Algerians in this game. I'm not going to bring on a striker for these final few minutes, but that's Algeria. Uneja will be coming on. Wan-Bissaka down by the corner flag, just trying to work their way out of here. Tight corners, 3 Algerian players. Decision goes the North Africans' way. And here, very belatedly, comes 34-year-old Gadad Uneja. Scored the winning goal in that final. It's Mazza who goes off. And what can this man do?
Mazza definitely had a quiet
huge
game.
Cheers from the Algerian supporters as he comes on.
That's a player that can score goal, and they know that's a player that can score goal, and they're very excited to see him because he's been loved by the Algerian fans.
They do. As you say, he was the only Algerian to score the Nations Cup in Ivory Coast. He's got 35 goals for his nation. And I think that might be the Algerian supporters telling us that they want some presence up top, which they have been missing for large parts of this game. So Petkovic has really changed things up in the forward area. There is the first touch from Uneja. I said earlier, got the winning goal in the 2019 final. Yet to score in this competition. 3 goals in Ivory Coast last year.
Stats in this round of 16 have shown that a percentage of goals that went in after the 80th minute, has been in probably practically in the whole games that we've seen so far.
Late goals. Now, I would say would surely win it, but we saw Mali go behind very, very late on against Tunisia, and then equalised deep into stoppage time to take the game into extra time before winning on penalties.
That game got me speaking French, man. Oh là là, incroyable, impossible.
Très bien.
That was incredible, isn't it? They all thought they already won it, and the game is done and dusted. But it's never over in this beautiful game of ours till the fat lady sings.
No, and they've been playing for 3 halves of football, including an extra time with just 10 men as Ben Sebaini swings it in, and it goes off Wan-Bissaka for a corner to Algeria as their supporters try and increase the pressure and the noise and the support for their favourites. Well, this would be some time to find the opening goal of this round of 16 clash. Now, Hali and Boudaoui, the only players ready back for Algeria. Shaibi entrusted with the delivery again, and he's put in some good ones already. Can he find something special now? Swung it, and Passy comes and doesn't get a solid hand on it. Striker goal is rocking around in the area, and still they have it. Haj Musa's driver goal, and bounces away And the Congolese living dangerously, and now Mutu Sami will try and lead a counter. Will he just slow things down? Up to Bongonda, who tries to skip away from his opposite number. And we're getting the tackle in. Well,
yeah, that's the pressure. That's what the Algerian fans would love to see. But going forward for Congo, you can see that Sidiki and Bakumba have been missed. When they were on that field, those breaks would have definitely have taken it a bit further than where the ball stopped.
Well, more changes, despite the fact that extra time seems to be looming. Michel Ange Balikwisha, the forward, is going to be coming on. And it'll be Bongonda who is going off. So trying to win it late on, as we see just how close Algeria were on that occasion.
They were very close. They were definitely very close.
And then it is Bakambu who's going to be coming off as well. Fiston Mayele, based here on the continent, the African Interclub Player of the Year. That's the trophy or title awarded to the best player playing in African club football. His Egyptian side, Pyramids, African champions for the first time last season. And Mayele scored in every round of the competition for them, the 31-year-old. A big physical presence up top, and well, he'll be a handful for the Algerian back four.
Definitely. And I'll see what he brings into this game. They still have less than 3 minutes and added up time, to go. And he's a very strong, bulky, centre forward.
Absolutely. I used to think of a strong, bulky centre forward. So not too far from me. Well, both coaches seemingly trying to win it in the very little time that remains of the 90 minutes.
They are playing. They don't want to go 120 minutes when knowing that Nigeria is past on the 90th minutes and they didn't even pull a sweat. So no team will want to go that mile to play a team like Nigeria.
Nigeria, as you say, the Super Eagles lying in wait, three-time African champions, looking for a first since 2013. And Bemba up towards Mayele, a first touch for him. And with the second attempt, he opens it up, and they do open it up. Well, they're looking instantly to the back stick to Balikwisha. I think they're based in Scotland with Celtic, but just too much on that for him. He made his debut for the Congolese in this stadium against Nigeria a couple of months ago. Despite that, he was then entrusted with a shootout penalty. I mean, I don't know what that's for baptism of fire. He scored it as well.
He scored it. And that was why he was introduced, because they needed players who can, who can play those penalties, and he did. And
high pressure. Belhali in the 89th minute. To Haj Musa. He's shown us glimmers of what he can do. Perhaps sensibly just goes backwards on this occasion. With Belaid on the pitch, Benza Bayini's just hugging this left-hand side. Taking the Nouri well.
He's been planned, he's been walked off, he's got isolated.
Harley in behind, Buneja in the middle, and the delivery is just not good enough. Well, I think that was an attempted cross rather than a strike at goal. Yeah, the Algerian fullback.
It looks like it, but definitely will have easily have an extra touch, and then he just square the ball, on the top, because you can see the Algerian player, he was already locking in there, expecting the cross to come in.
It was a delightful ball through to Belhali to open it up, and Passy just taking his time, as you might expect, as the fourth official has his board in his hands. And we wait to see just how much more time there will be before we go to extra time for only second time. The third time at this tournament. Amoura on his bike. There'll be 3 additional minutes. Here is Amoura into the middle. Haj Musa. It almost broke for Shaibi. Buku. Goal here surely would be enough. Mutu Sami. Balikwisha. Still Balikwisha. Looking for Mayele, and Mayele cannot get the contact he wanted. The Congolese so close to winning it at the death. It's going to be a corner.
That's what it is when you come off the bench. You want chances like that. The cross came in beautifully.
Look at that from Belaid.
That's a good defender.
Absolutely outstanding.
That's a good defender there. That's a game changer. He kept them in this game for sure.
Absolutely. Missed that. Mayele was in close range like that. Zidane may well have had a little chance. Absolutely brilliant from the 26-year-old Belaid.
It'll be a heartbreak for them to consider goal right now.
This is the time to smash and grab it. Mbuku goes deep. Out comes Zidane. Two solid hands to punch it away. And Congolese happy to go back to Mpasi and build again. Well, what a cross that was from Bali Quisha.
That was a beautiful cross. A beautiful cross. For a striker, you cannot expect anything less than that. But what about the defense?
What about the defense indeed? Phenomenally impressive. Patsy Long up towards Mayele, who gives the Congolese more of a physical presence up top than Bakabu, who stretches more with his movement. Here's Haj Musa. Budami down the right-hand side. It's Shaibi who picks it up. Buneja in the middle. So to Amura. That's nicely played. Now, what's the cross like? Well, they've cut it back. And I think it just rolled out of play, and it'll be a goal kick to the Congolese. Another half chance or half opportunity goes amiss.
Well, what a different set of game that we did see. The first 45 minutes and the second half of that. It went around. It didn't go.
Sure, the whole ball. That's the line there.
No, it wasn't the ball crossing the line. It's the ball going outside and coming back into play.
That would make more sense. Abdelli, 30 seconds of the 90 to go. Penalised for the challenge. Not many faces look at that. Pekovic feeling it, no doubt. Then Sebaini to Amura. Nice first touch from Amura. Buneja going in, and then a little bit of hesitation. And then Passi had the second attempt after the ball bounced off Twanzebe, picks it up. But that is that. The Egyptian official blows his whistle for full time. Nothing to separate these sides. Algeria and the Democratic Republic of Congo. And it could have been just a moment ago, but for Zinedine Belayed's outstanding defensive clearance with the substitute Fiston Mayele lurking. Daniel, another 30 minutes. Might it open up in extra time? What are you going to expect, and what is coming our way after this game has ended? Algeria 0, the Democratic